Imagine developing an innovative tech product, gaining traction with early adopters, and then watching sales flatline as you try to reach the mainstream market. You've poured your heart and soul into this groundbreaking technology, but suddenly it feels like you've hit an invisible wall. This is the chasm, and crossing it is the key challenge for any disruptive technology. Welcome to CEO's Library, the 1% Bookshelf. I'm your host, and today we're diving into one of the most influential books in the world of high-tech marketing, Crossing the Chasm by Geoffrey Moore. Whether you're a startup founder, product manager, or tech industry executive, this episode will equip you with a proven framework for achieving breakout success. In the next 30 minutes, we'll break down Moore's powerful model for crossing the chasm and achieving mainstream success. We'll cover key strategies like targeting a beachhead market, developing a whole product solution, and positioning against competition. These aren't just theoretical concepts. We'll explore real-world examples of companies that have successfully made the leap from niche player to market leader. But first, let's set the stage by understanding what exactly this chasm is and why it's such a formidable obstacle for innovative technologies. Picture a bell curve. This curve represents what Moore calls the technology adoption life cycle. On the far left, you have the innovators, the tech enthusiasts who are always first in line for the latest gadget or software. Next come the early adopters, visionaries who can see the potential of new technology to revolutionize their business or industry. These two groups make up your early market, and many startups find initial success here. The problem arises when you try to move beyond this. The next group on the curve is the early majority, pragmatists who want proven solutions to their problems. They're followed by the late majority, and finally the laggards. Here's the crucial point. There's a massive gap, a chasm, between the early adopters and the early majority. The needs, expectations, and buying behaviors of these groups are radically different. What appeals to a visionary early adopter often falls flat with a pragmatic early majority customer. This chasm is where promising technologies go to die. Companies burn through their funding, trying to appeal to a mainstream market that isn't ready for them yet. They stretch themselves thin, attempting to please everyone, ultimately pleasing no one. The consequences of failing to cross this chasm are dire. It's not just about missing out on growth, it's often a matter of survival for the company itself. So why does this chasm exist? It comes down to fundamental differences in how these groups approach new technology. Early adopters are looking for a radical shift, a chance to get ahead of the competition. They're willing to take risks and deal with an imperfect product. The early majority, on the other hand, want gradual, measurable progress. They're looking for mature products with proven track records. Think about the early days of electric vehicles. Tesla found success with early adopters who were excited about the technology and willing to overlook initial limitations. But for years, mainstream car buyers remained skeptical, concerned about range, charging infrastructure, and reliability. It took time, iterative improvements, and the development of a whole ecosystem around EVs before they started to gain traction with the early majority. This example illustrates a key point. Crossing the chasm isn't just about improving your product. It requires a holistic strategy that addresses all the barriers preventing mainstream adoption. And that strategy begins with a counterintuitive approach: narrowing your focus. Many companies fail to cross the chasm because they try to appeal to too broad a market too quickly. They see the huge potential of the mainstream market and try to capture it all at once. But this approach spreads resources too thin and fails to gain traction anywhere. The secret to crossing the chasm is to focus on a single, specific market segment, what Moore calls the beachhead. This is a niche within the mainstream market where your product can deliver overwhelming value and where you can establish a strong position. Choosing the right beachhead is crucial. Moore suggests several criteria. First, the target segment must have a compelling reason to buy. They should be struggling with a problem that your product solves better than any available alternative. Second, you must be able to become a whole product solution for this segment. We'll dive deeper into the concept of the whole product later, but essentially, you need to be able to deliver everything the customer needs to achieve their desired outcome. Third, there should be little or no competition in this segment. You want to be able to establish yourself as the clear market leader. And finally, it should be a segment that can serve as a stepping stone to other segments. Success here should open doors to adjacent markets. Let's look at a real-world example of how this strategy played out. In the early 1990s, Documentum was struggling to gain traction with its document management software. They had some success with early adopters, but couldn't break into the mainstream market. Their breakthrough came when they focused on a very specific beachhead: the process of managing documentation for new drug applications in the pharmaceutical industry. This was a perfect target for several reasons. The problem was urgent and costly. Delays in submitting new drug applications were costing pharma companies millions of dollars a day and lost patent life. The existing solutions were woefully inadequate. Companies were drowning in paperwork, struggling to manage hundreds of thousands of pages of documentation. Documentum could provide a complete solution for this specific use case. And perhaps most importantly, success in this niche would open doors to other regulated industries with similar documentation challenges. By focusing all their resources on dominating this niche, Documentum was able to establish themselves as the clear leader. From there, they expanded into other areas of the pharmaceutical industry, then into other regulated industries like chemicals and financial services. This focused approach allowed them to cross the chasm and eventually become a major player in the enterprise software market. The beachhead strategy is powerful, but it's only the first step. To truly cross the chasm, you need to deliver what Moore calls the whole product. This is a crucial concept that many tech companies struggle with. The whole product goes beyond just your core technology or product. It's everything the customer needs to achieve their desired outcome. This includes software, hardware, installation, training, support, and even complementary products or services that might be provided by partners. Moore breaks the whole product down into several levels. The generic product is what you actually ship, your core technology or software. The expected product is what the customer thinks they're buying. This might include basic training, support, and compatibility with their existing systems. The augmented product goes beyond basic expectations to maximize the probability of achieving the desired result. This could include advanced training, consulting services, or integration with a wider range of systems. Finally, the potential product represents room for growth and enhancement over time. To cross the chasm, you need to deliver at least the expected product, and ideally, the augmented product. This often requires forming partnerships and alliances to fill gaps in your offering. Let's look at how this played out for Aruba Networks as they tried to bring enterprise-grade Wi-Fi to college campuses. Aruba's generic product was their wireless access points and controllers, but to cross the chasm, they needed to deliver a complete solution for campus-wide Wi-Fi. This meant addressing challenges like managing thousands of access points across sprawling campuses, handling spikes in network traffic, like when an entire class uploads their exams simultaneously, integrating with existing campus systems and security protocols, providing tools for network administrators to manage and troubleshoot the system. To meet these needs, Aruba had to go beyond just selling hardware. They developed sophisticated network management software. They partnered with companies like Bradford Networks to provide advanced security features. They even created an advisory board of university IT leaders to guide their product development. By focusing on delivering this whole product solution for the higher education market, Aruba was able to establish a strong position and use it as a springboard to enter other enterprise markets. The whole product concept illustrates a key principle of crossing the chasm. You're no longer just selling a product. You're selling a solution to a specific problem in a specific market. This brings us to our next crucial strategy: positioning. When you're targeting early adopters, you can focus on the revolutionary nature of your technology. But to appeal to the pragmatic early majority, you need to position yourself within a frame of reference they understand. Moore suggests a two-step process for positioning. First, you need to position your product within an existing market category that customers are already familiar with. This gives them a frame of reference for understanding what you do. Second, you need to differentiate yourself as the leader within that category for your specific target market. A useful tool for this is what Moore calls the elevator pitch formula. It goes like this: for target customers who are dissatisfied with the current market alternative, our product is a new product category that provides key problem-solving capability. Unlike the product alternative, we have assembled key whole product features for your specific application. Let's see how this played out for Workday, a company that aimed to disrupt the enterprise software market with a cloud-based solution. Workday positioned themselves within the familiar category of enterprise resource planning (ERP) software, but they differentiated themselves as the leader in cloud-based ERP for mid-size companies. Their elevator pitch might have sounded something like this. For mid-size companies who are dissatisfied with the complexity and cost of traditional on-premise ERP systems, Workday is a cloud-based ERP solution that provides comprehensive business management capabilities with the flexibility and cost-effectiveness of the cloud. Unlike traditional ERP systems that require extensive IT resources to implement and maintain, we have assembled a complete solution that can be up and running in weeks, not months or years, and that automatically stays up to date without disruptive upgrades. This positioning accomplishes several things. It clearly identifies the target market, mid-sized companies. It acknowledges the existing alternatives, traditional on-premise ERP. It places Workday in a new category, cloud-based ERP, that builds on something familiar. It highlights the key benefits, comprehensive capabilities, flexibility, cost-effectiveness. And it differentiates from the alternatives by emphasizing ease of implementation and automatic updates. This kind of clear, compelling positioning is essential for crossing the chasm. It gives pragmatic buyers a way to understand and justify their purchase decision. As we wrap up, let's recap the key strategies for crossing the chasm. 1. Understand the chasm. Recognize the fundamental differences between early adopters and the early majority. 2. Target a beachhead market. Focus all your resources on dominating a specific niche where you can deliver overwhelming value. 3. Develop the whole product. Go beyond your core technology to deliver everything the customer needs to achieve their desired outcome. 4. Position effectively. Place yourself in a familiar context, then differentiate as the leader for your specific target market. But crossing the chasm isn't just about marketing strategy. It often requires broader organizational changes. As you move from the early market to the mainstream, you may need to shift your sales approach from visionary selling to solution selling. Adjust your product development to focus more on reliability and integration than bleeding-edge features. Develop new partnerships to deliver the whole product, and potentially even change your company culture to appeal to more pragmatic customers and employees. Crossing the chasm is one of the most challenging transitions any high-tech company will face, but it's also the key to achieving breakout success and becoming a market leader. Remember, the innovative product is just the beginning. Use these frameworks to bring your technology to the mainstream and achieve lasting success. Whether you're launching a startup, developing a new product line, or trying to revitalize a stagnant business, the principles in Crossing the Chasm provide a powerful roadmap for navigating the treacherous waters between early adoption and mainstream success. Thank you for joining us on CEO's Library, the 1% Bookshelf. If you found this valuable, please share it with a friend or colleague who could benefit. And don't forget to check out the full transcript and accompanying visualizations at ceoslibrary.com. Until next time, keep learning, keep growing, and keep pushing the boundaries of what's possible.